G'day ice cream lovers, my name's Steve Christensen. I know what you're thinking, oh no, he's got the whiteboard out. Look, I know sometimes the whiteboard, look, just come a little bit closer here. I know that sometimes the whiteboard videos aren't as exciting as some of the other ones, but it's really important to do some of the theory work. It's not all fun and games. You've really got to knuckle down sometimes and do some book work. Anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about the types of ice cream that there are and what you should sell. Seems like a pretty rudimentary topic, but we get a lot of questions about it at Scoop School here. I do want to thank our episode sponsor, TurnkeyParlor.com. Turnkey actually do such a great job of marketing. You probably already have heard of TurnkeyParlor.com. Neil Williams and the whole crew there specialize in selling near new ice cream equipment. They sell whole store packages. They sell boxes. There's a ton of video and training there. Good guy. Go and see him. TurnkeyParlor.com. The link's down here. Tell them that I said hello. Now, let's talk a little bit about just rudimentary ice cream. I have a lot of people calling up the Scoop School offices here saying, Steve, I feel like I know you like a brother. I've watched 700 of your videos, which is strange because we only have 200 odd of them. Anyway, and they say, look, I really want to take the next step forward in selling ice cream or opening up an ice cream shop, and this is my plan. And generally the first question is, what type of ice cream should I sell? And for a lot of us here, you might think, well, wouldn't that be a very standard thing? I mean, you want to, you probably got the concept in your mind before you take it to the next level, but some people don't. So we're just going to talk quickly about 3 categories and what are the pros and cons of them, if you will. Okay, the first is your regular ice cream. So when I say regular ice cream, I'm talking about hand-dipped hard ice cream. We call it hard scoop, American style ice cream, the kind of ice cream that Baskin-Robbins sells. And look, it's a great place to start. Most people are very, very commonly familiar with regular ice cream. Pros are that you've got a lot of flavors, so we'll put a check here with flavors. If you are culinarily driven, then it will actually allow you to be able to create a whole lot of different flavors, including non-dairy flavors. And it's a product that's very familiar to people. I would probably say that the majority of people who come through class now are looking to do hard scoop ice cream. What are some of the challenges? Well, the challenges is that you've got, if you want to make your own, there's a fair amount of investment when it comes to equipment. You've got to buy a batch freezer. You should have a blast freezer. You need storage for your liquid mix. You'll need storage, obviously, for your frozen product. And there is what I will call logistics. Let's call it logistics. In order to get really good quality ice cream, you've got to really follow the process. Once it comes out of the batch freezer, you want to put a wax paper on it. You'll put it into the blast freezer straight away. It'll rapidly decrease its temperature, lock in that structure of air and sugar and dairy. You'll put it into a then from the blast freezer into a storage freezer. And then you'll want to rotate it out into a display case. So there's a lot of logistics that go with it. Now, you can circumvent all of this in the ice cream category by simply buying ice cream. And we have a lot of great sponsors who sponsor the podcast. Chocolate Chop Ice Cream. We've got the Ice Cream Club in Florida who make great quality ice cream that you can simply buy. The food cost is up, so you're not making as much money, but you don't have all of this equipment, capital outlay, and so forth. So that's one category, premium ice cream. Most people are very, very familiar with it. You just need to decide which way you're going to go with it. The second category is soft serve. And the reason why we call it soft serve is because technically most soft serves are not ice cream. In the US, your ice cream or your dairy dessert needs to be at least 10% fat in order for it to be called ice cream. The FDA mandates that. So most soft serve places are anywhere between, let's say, 4% fat and 8% fat. and it is an easy product to sell. Again, it's very familiar. People are very familiar with it. It's very easy to operate. So it's much, much more easier to use a ready-to-use machine. So your soft serve machines are basically you're pulling on a handle. You've got a few different types of machines. Again, search down through the videos here. We've got a lot of videos here on different equipment, pump versus gravity, all that kind of stuff. Now, the downside, well, it's not very gourmet. So you're not going to be able to create a whole lot of different flavors. You're not going to be a fan of the Food Network and then go back to the soft serve machine, because there are limitations to what you can put in a soft serve machine and what it can do. But it's very traditional. It sells very well. There's a low food cost to it. There are some variances in mouthfeel and air content. So that's one of the other topics. And the third one, which isn't as popular, but it's growing in popularity, is frozen custard. Now, frozen custard primarily is a Midwest-based product. It's made in a very traditional frozen custard machine, and it's a very low overrun product. We've spoken about frozen custard before. Do a search on the channel here, frozen custard. You'll see a lot of videos come up. Pluses, it is gourmet. It's actually, the mouthfeel on a very rich, dense frozen custard product is outstanding. Again, some of the challenges is not a whole lot of variety when it comes to flavors. You can do some of the flavors that you do in premium, but remember that you've got a flow valve in that machine that's really going to limit a lot of particulates and variegates and chunks and so forth. So if you're after, again, a whole variety of different flavors, premium's the way to go. Most stores are only doing 2 flavors. That'd be chocolate and vanilla, and one FOD, or flavor of the day. So if you're really passionate about frozen custard, you may find that you're only selling 3 or maybe 4 flavors a day. Chocolate, vanilla, and the others rotate through. Now I know what you're thinking. Can I sell all 3? Well, you can. Logistically, it would be a bit of a nightmare. You see, each of these machines or each of these processes are a little bit different from the other. There are some crossover though. I know a lot of premium ice cream shops that do sell soft serve in order to make shakes with them. So that's kind of a crossover here, but there's really not too many businesses that do ice cream, soft serve, and frozen custard. They're just really too diverse in order to do that. So if you're new to the industry and you're thinking of kind of taking it to the next level, just a very brief overview of the 3 different types or categories of frozen desserts. Some pros, some cons. Interested in your comments as well for those industry veterans that tune in. We obviously go through this in depth in our Scoop School classes. I would recommend you going to scoopschool.com and having a look at one of our classes, because obviously this is our meat and potatoes, if you will. But again, quick overview. Hope it's helpful. I tell you who is very helpful, Turnkey Parlor, because they sponsored this video. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, quandaries, if you have more questions about this, leave a comment below. Hit the subscribe button, hit like. I'm putting my hands out here. I don't really know where the button, well, I do know where the buttons are. Over here is your subscribe, down here is the last video, and over here takes you to Scoop School. Keep on scooping, couldn't be more easier. See you in the next video.